Dabby doopy dabby dabba da podcast. Hello and welcome to Hair Down There. I am, of course, your host, Majestic Bert Ox Tuft. With me today, I have a very special guest. I will let him introduce himself.
I am tucked oft first.
Fantastic. And how are you, Mr. Tuft?
Turgid, feculent.
Fantastic. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the podcast. I've been at PAX, so that's a very long segment. So before that, I'm going to ask
Stacks on packs.
Gabriel.
Yeah.
How was your week? Did you get PAX? Because PAX sounds like a fucking virus, man. Sleep with a tart, you get the PAX. Fuck, I got PAX, man. You were sleeping with Shandy.
I think in this hypothetical, you are the tart, Aaron.
Oh.
Yeah, you're where the pax comes from.
Oh, shit.
Someone's just got a case of Aaron's packs.
No.
No, I don't go to these things because I'd only go if I were like a millionaire and capable of either buying lots of things that I had a brief passing interest in, to be honest, or setting up a booth for a video game that will never exist.
Yeah, fair enough.
Or just, a mystery spot, torturing people that walk in.
I'd fund that.
Yeah, so I don't go to those things.
I also usually don't go, but I had a reason, but we'll get on that.
So yeah, I stay at home and I've been watching movies and playing video games amid my usual activities. I've been playing Indivisible.
Oh, that came out?
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm excited about that.
Unfinished!
Oh, really?
Yeah, okay, so this was kind of a bummer of an experience for me, because my brother, was on board of that thing real early.
Yeah, he was a big backer.
Well, not, big, but, early.
Yeah, early.
He was like, yeah, it looks really good. And to be honest, yeah. And the thing is, it's a game that at the start, you're like, hey, this is good. It has really it's beautiful. It's got a novel little story thing for it. It's nothing revolutionary, but it doesn't need to be. And so it's got an actually semi-decent fucking core gameplay design of being a kind of cooldown-based, somewhat, turn-based RPG-style fight system. And the entire time I'm playing it, I'm sitting there thinking about ways I'd make it more complicated and more interesting. And I don't mean just feature dump, but more defensive options. There really aren't. There's block and then there's whole team block. And that's it. You can't kind of activate one of your people to attack while the opponent's attacking. So there's no interruption. There's there's nothing really you can do in that regard.
So it's just sort of simple and archaic in its
really simple,
structure, yeah.
And that becomes screamingly obvious the further you go through the game. And basically at a certain point, once you've got 3 attacks per round, the fights become ridiculously easy, but unbelievably drawn out. All the enemies are just have lots of health and stuff just takes ages. Because if you've got 1 or 2 decent healers, I just run with the first healer I got, which is this little boy and a fucking radish or something called Ginseng and Honey. And basically, if you use Ginseng's attack 3 times in a row, his heal is super boosted.
Right.
And so you just march him out straight away, get him to, do stuff. And then you just sloshes his fucking bullshit around and heals. And so the fights take ages. And this entire time I'm kind of thinking, man, this could be I'm thinking, all right, they made it fucking dumbed down for an audience of idiots or something. I don't know. And then, there's other little things some characters don't have super moves. So there's a super meter basically, and you can burn meter and you get super moves.
Okay.
And then some characters didn't have it. You hold the button and you push their attack button and just nothing happens. And I'm all right, I guess some characters just don't. And then you get a character called Phoebe, who is a massive quantity of woman. This big, tall warrior woman. She actually has an anti-air grapple, where she does a muscle buster. So right up my fucking alley.
Yeah.
And I waited till I got level 3 because I want to see what a level 3 super was. You get it, mash the button, the thing activates, and you're like, oh yeah, here she goes. And she runs in and does nothing. I'm like, all right, maybe I didn't use it right. Maybe it's the character has to be launched or something like this. Try it again, no, nothing. I'm like, all right, fuck it, I'm looking this up. And I looked it up, and they didn't put a move in. She can waste the meter.
Excuse me, what?
Yeah, she can waste the meter. There's just no move. There's no move in the fucking game. So
fucking brilliant.
There was supposed to be a move. If you go to the fucking website for Indivisible, which I
Yeah.
did after all of this, after sitting like almost at the end of the game, like I'm basically at the point where I've got a few side quests to do, which are not very well laid out.
Okay.
And you know, like it's telling me if I go to this place, you don't get to come back. So I'm at that point of the game.
Yeah.
And I finally sort of snap, and I'm looking through like, okay, trying to figure out why some characters don't have moves and shit. It's like, yeah, just unfinished. And then you start going through all the sort of writing that the website had on what the ideas that they had for these characters. Like, there's a character called Kadisha who's got like a shield, and you're like, oh, that's kind of cool. But all it is she just hits people with a fucking shield. There's like the developer notes of being like, yeah, she'd have defensive stances and all this other shit. Like, there's all the fucking ideas I've been wanting that would turn this into a brilliant, fun game of thought and strategy that really used this cool fucking basic design concept. Were there. They're just not in the fucking game.
That's bizarre. Like, did they just run out of time and not implement them?
I feel like
has there been developer posts about it or anything?
I feel like it's an issue of people were changing core ideas as they went along. And eventually, I think 505 Games or whoever is the publisher was just like, get it out. And it's staggeringly disappointing. Because the entire time you're playing it, as you get better at this game and you can send people out, and like, again, you know, there are some characters that block. And early on in the game's like, oh yeah, you have to use a down attack and then an up attack, and it breaks the block. I was like, all right. And that's as complicated pretty much as the fighting gets.
Right.
That's it. Like, some characters guard, that's it. And so everything is just a fucking sponge. And the strategy of the game is just whittled down to nothing. Like, there are a few characters, like there's a little vegetable girl who can put plants down. And if you change where she's looking, you can actually put the plants in the way of the enemies and kind of stop them from getting in the way. But that's like the most strategy really that's there. There's a girl who shoots water everywhere, and you can activate the water puddles, and the puddles will become damage points and heal points and stuff. But it's like, there's no deeper strategy. There's no reason really to use any of this, because your base heal will be fine, and there's just not that much else. And there's no reason to fucking go into any of this depth. There's the clear intent in the underlying design to get this level of complexity or, you know, purpose or value to the fucking combat system, and none of it's in the fucking game. And again, like, it'd be one thing if they just gotten rid of that. Like, if they just made it simple, you've just kind of got a sort of boring button mashy game. Yeah, all right. But not having super moves in for the entire cast to get the
that's very weak.
Cast, yeah, is weak. Having super moves that don't do anything.
Yeah, why have it go? Why have it function? Why go? Yeah, I'm gonna let you burn that
know,
meter,
like,
champ.
Why not just
go? No, you can't do
so
that.
she can't waste the fucking meter at least.
Yeah, not have the option on that character. Like, that's really bad. Bad design.
Like, and because I was reading a thing, and apparently it's like, you know, because there were dev builds coming out where there was more, you know, some of this stuff was apparently in. You know, I never played any of the dev builds. I'll talk to my brother about it, but you know,
you shouldn't have to play dev builds. The game's been released.
I mean, no, it just in terms of like how this happened, and from what I've gathered, it looks like someone's been sitting there and trying to rejig major elements of the idea up until the last minute.
Right.
And not having a single goal in mind, going for that goal, getting it done, and then getting something out. You know, a little bit like the way Duke Nukem Forever.
So do you think
trying to change the engine every 2 fucking years?
Do you think they might adjust it and add it in?
Well, okay, here's the fundamental thing, and something that people trying to defend this keep pointing out, is these are the people that made Skullgirls.
Right.
And Skullgirls has had a huge amount of post-release stuff added. And that's true. The thing that Skullgirls has is a reason to play it after the fucking story is done. This is a single-player experience. This isn't like you and me can sit and play games of Skullgirls, picking different characters, learning different techniques, fighting each other. Like, a fighting game has an engagement point that you can revisit constantly.
Yeah.
Adding shit after the fact, very viable approach to fighting games. To a fucking single player experience that has clearly missing shit.
Yeah.
Adding stuff after the fact means you released your game too early. This game should have been fucking delayed. Yeah, it's already been in development for 4 years. But you know what? I'd have preferred it maybe another 6 months.
Yeah,
or
for
at least
sure.
switch off Phoebe's super, which is literally nothing but waste your super. She has a super that hurts you. And you need some of that shit if you want the fights to last less than, 45 fucking minutes sometimes. Like, because by the. I'm just screaming, bosses can't do enough damage to bother me. Like, I've got my little fucking,
So there's
vegetable bottom.
the fights are just drawn out. There's no threat to
Oh,
you.
so
They're
drawn out.
just,
Like, it just
yeah.
takes ages. There's no meaningful threat. And there's no way to do really satisfying quantities of damage. Like, if you complete a little side quest of like finding and killing certain things, and like the one thing that the game does have that's quite fun is reasonably decent Metroidvania style platforming.
Right.
So you're running around, there's interesting areas to explore, you get little upgrades that give you different mobility, and these mobilities add different areas that you can look at. Now, the way some of these upgrades are quite kind of sloppy, bordering on lazy. So, like, someone who's been in your party for a while will just go, hey, just, apropos of like almost nothing, just go, hey, you can do this. And they go, oh, yeah, great. And now you've got a different mobility thing.
Yeah.
There's just, the further you get through the game, the more you can see the fucking, hasty gap fill and the fucking, bits that just are incomplete.
Yeah. There's just that's a shame. That's really a shame. I hope it gets to like. I will hold off on playing it. I'll just hope that they'll get it. They hope. Well,
Like,
we'll
I
see.
just, if they're gonna, if in 6 months' time they go, hey, there's a DLC, because apparently there's like 2 characters that aren't even in the game that were going to be in it, but they're going to be DLC now, apparently. Oh yeah, and so like there's narrative
Okay.
reasons you get most of the people that you have living in your brain, right? There's
Right.
like that's actually a good game, Crosscode. There's narrative reasons that this happens, and then there's some like little Hawaiian girl with a shark tooth sword that she just pops up on a dock in a city that you've been to a bunch of times just after you've done something. She's just there. It's just like, hi, I fell off a boat, and it's like, okay. And then she's just part of your group because they probably didn't bother finishing whatever her fucking story bit was going to be.
That's the fucking undertow Sonic in Bioshock Infinite. Just
It's
fucking
just-
on the ground. Oh, there you are.
it's just, organize your shit. You need, like, this is the problem when you have creatives in charge. You do need some person there to like fucking slap them occasionally and go, no, don't change the idea you've had. Get the fucking thing finished. I mean, again, everything else would just be sort of like, all right, but having chunks of the cast not have a super move, which is just weird, and then having characters have a super move that doesn't fucking do anything is really just blatantly this isn't done.
Yeah. 100%.
And it drags the whole experience down. I was enjoying myself up until about 3/4 of the way through the game. I realized, oh, this isn't going to get better. The combat's not going to get deeper. I don't have any reason to think about strategy. I find like, because if you do the little side quest, you get like this girl with a lute. And her whole thing, she doesn't have any attacks. She just plays the lute and it does like upgrades and shit. And so I'm like, all right, finally, I might be able to do, some meaningful, because you can just run into like rando things in dungeons and be there for like 10 fucking minutes, just whacking this thing over and over again. It'll roll out, do one attack that's really easy to parry, will do minimal amounts of damage, and then you're just back to bopping the shit out of it. And it just takes
That's
fucking
a shame.
forever. I mean, I'm not even gonna do a lot of the side quests until I find out whether or not they're even properly completable in the game.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for at least some kind of FAQ to tell me that all of this is doable. I've just got this thing that like breaks floorboards, big axe. It's like, okay, that's cool. I can think of a few places where I can go with that now, but like apparently every character has like a task they need completed. And you complete that task and you get like a little bit of extra, an extra piece of art at the ending.
Okay.
And I want to do that. That sounds great. That sounds like a great way to
That
flush
does
the
sound
game
cool,
out.
yeah.
But as far as I know, I might be chasing fucking, phantoms. My shit might be in that fucking game.
Hey,
they're gonna-
we know the art's supposed to hear, but
Yeah.
sorry, soon.
Oh yeah, it's just not finished.
Not
It'll come
finished.
out when like fucking, Aloysius or whatever his fucking name is gets released.
All right, so done that. What else you been doing?
I watched it, the chapter 2.
Oh, is it they
When
made a
they're
second one?
adults.
Did they really make a second one?
Yeah, well, I mean, okay, so I kind of want to meet someone who really loves Stephen King
Right.
because I don't. I understand just reading his books. I don't understand actively enjoying them exactly. Like I don't think they're bad, but I just think they're so functory. They're just functional. He has decent ideas, and I think his ideas work best in a short story format because holy fuck, the book it just goes on. Like I don't think he writes well so much as he writes a lot.
Right.
And it is like I've tried to get through that
So
book.
yeah, he's
Like,
just throwing the books
yeah.
at the wall, and one goes through the hole
Well, I mean,
occasionally. Yeah.
I do
Woo!
really want to read Cujo because he wrote that during his fucking coke period and literally doesn't remember writing it.
Excellent.
So I'm curious as to what that's like. But yeah, the book it is it's just so fucking dry at points. And you know, it's about a murder clown and children. It's like I should be chomping through this book, and it just doesn't. So I've never been that massive a fan of his actual writing, but some of his stories do have good translations. Stand by Me is a good movie. Um, and so I actually quite liked the first It, like not the first one and this one where one of the Skarsgårds plays Pennywise, because children are a great horror protagonists.
Yeah.
Because
Very pure and just
yeah,
emote well.
Yeah, they can react to horrific situations in ways that keep the horror going.
Yeah.
An adult's gotta I'm leaving this house. I'm calling the authorities. This is ridiculous. Like, there's lots of things that just, when an adult does it, is stupid, but when a kid does it, is like, oh yeah, that's what a kid would do. And, they managed to structure why the kids would fucking be trying to murder the clown and why I mean, again, I've never managed to get through the actual fucking book, but apparently he came from space. I mean, in the movie, I don't know but yeah, he's like a meteor or something.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and my favorite thing is like they do the classic like, oh yeah, the Native Americans knew it was bad, which is also I think in Pet Sematary and probably a dozen other fucking Stephen King books to be honest. But like, you know, they mentioned at one point that the Native Americans beat it, but then also they didn't, and I don't think they ever really adequately covered precisely why he's out if he was meant to be beat. And so they've got like this fucking magic Indian jug that they're gonna fucking use power of belief to shove him back in. And I mean, the problem is again, adapting this long fucking book when it was basically sort of the first part always works out better. It's the adult part always fucking lets it down. Like, because pretty much from go, the movie is effectively a video game. Like, it's, oh yeah, here's like your six adults. They've got a job to do. What's that job? They got to go collect their fucking, it's almost a Zelda game. Like, each of them has to go get a fucking magic instrument to wake the windfish. And that's just what happens. And it's like,
Sounds
oh,
really
yeah,
enjoyable, actually.
yeah, here goes the woman to go to her fucking thing. And some of the horror sequences are sort of just funny. Like, the woman goes to this house where, she was molested by her dad, and it's like, bad memories and whatnot. It's like, oh, that's fine. And, there's an old lady living there. But then, like, the old lady's clearly like, I don't know, Pennywise in an old lady suit. But, like, there's a few scenes where, like, the woman's looking at, like, pictures on the wall, or slowly, it's basically she's seeing things that tell the fucking audience that this is not as it seems. Um, and in the background, the old lady's, like, naked and just, like, spazzing out and sort of walking really weirdly. And, like, I can't. Actually, no, I've got it. She walks like one of those really irregular Attack on Titans runs. Like, the ones that like spaz out?
Yeah.
She walks like that in the background a couple of times. And, again, if we were a kid, it might work as scary, but like it just sort of looks goofy. And that's, I think, a problem for a few of the horror sequences. Is that's the whole fucking thing. Is like these scenes build to like, oh yeah, here's this thing that's supposed to be scary happening. And instead, it looks like a drunk old lady dancing at a wedding. And there's even something you could do where you build off that, where it's like, okay, the nightmare clown that terrified you as a child might seem fucking stupid when you're an adult.
Yeah.
And that's ultimately how they beat Pennywise, is they just go, yeah, you're just a stupid fucking clown, and they beat it with the power of hope or some shit.
Fuck off.
Yeah, no, it kind of fucks me off, because they set up the idea that, like, belief and the way he works, the way Pennywise works, is like he's a mind virus. If you're scared, he can control you. So
Okay,
the idea is if you're
sure.
not scared, and that's what he does. He feeds on children and shit because they're easy to fucking set off. It's like, all right, that's the central MacGuffin. Fine. And then they sort of set the idea that this thing that like one of the kids stabbed him with in the first encounter, you know, is effectively an object of power because you can believe that it works. You can believe that that kills monsters.
Right.
And so, the fucking sickly kid, believes really hard and gets like nails this fucking javelin shot right into his mouth. And, it looks like he's dead. Then he's not and he kills the kid. I mean, he's an adult in this, but, he kills him. And then, you know, after that, they've killed him, then the rest of them believing really hard manage to, I don't know, beat him. Like, so they're just kind of sloppy with the ultimate fucking source of Pennywise's defeat,
Okay.
which kind of just fucks up the ending, really.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a few kind of just adequate moments, really. I mean, the guy that's like got a germ phobia. At one point, he's in like this fucking pharmacist's, and there's this like leper that scared the shit out of him as a kid.
Mm.
It's like he's got this long tongue. He's just licking the guy's face. It's like, oh, yeah, that's gross.
Yeah.
That's about as interesting as the fucking movie gets.
Okay.
Which is, I mean, a shame, but also at this point to be expected with King adaptations.
Yeah. Hey, half of the course. Anything else you done?
Yeah, I watched another movie called Midsummer.
Midsummer?
Yeah, it's like, okay, so it's a little bit like The Wicker Man. It's by Ari Aster, who did Hereditary, which is one of my favorite horror movies ever. I think Hereditary is excellent, and I think because the big problem like with horror is the longer it lasts, the stupider it gets, and sooner or later, just like Mother, not Mother. No, there was, yeah. It's like Mother. It was a short film, and it's like a Spanish language short film. It's like these kids are going, mum's home, and they're like, what? And there's this like scary ghost thing.
Okay.
And it works quite well because it goes for 5 fucking minutes.
Right.
A lot of horror works best short. The longer it gets drawn out, the stupider it starts to look. Or you're stuck in that position of like, people making dumb decisions or, doing dumb things in order to perpetuate the scary thing happening. So what Ari Aster did in Hereditary was only really kick the horror off basically in the last half hour. And it escalates so viciously in a way that doesn't jar with everything that had happened, but just recontextualizes what the start of the movie was about.
Right.
You think it's about mental illness, and it's not. And so the end result is you get benefits of weird horror without it having been going for 90 minutes and you starting to think that it's dumb.
Right.
And so that worked quite well. Midsummer, rather than being about scary things like demonic possession, are about other terrifying things like Swedes. The whole thing is just set in this weird Swedish cult.
Okay.
And it's kind of it's just a cult movie. And I'm not.
What sort of cult is it?
A weird circle of life cult. So
like sort of pagan?
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're definitely pagan. But like the idea is that like, they human sacrifice, and when you get to 72, you commit suicide because that's the end of your life.
Right. Of course,
And,
naturally.
Yeah, it's
If you live on past that, you become a Subway sandwich. That's the rule.
And it's one of those ones that tries to lean into its themes, but I don't think that works when the things happening in your movie are so demanding of attention. And the kind of end result is just stupid.
Mm.
I don't think there are some. It has some solid moments. It has an incest mong. I mean, they don't do many of those these days. And the best thing about its incest mong is it's not about the incest mong. Like normally something with a mutant face it shows up a little bit in the trailers. You don't see much of it. And it's not really about it. It's not like, oh, if we kill the fucking incest mong, they'll all die because it's telepathically keeping them around. There's none of that. It's just, oh yeah, he's like the priest of their stupid fucking religion.
Right.
And so in order to interpret the blessings of the universe, the human mind clutters it with wants and needs and, naughty human thoughts. So every now and then we incest up a fucking retard, and it's doodles in our fucking book, and that's it. And that's literally it. And I mean, there's a personal issue with me in that I fucking hate cults. And I'm not a big fan of horror where the monsters are things that you can just punch. Like, it's not like this is some fucking mad coven of karate Swedes. Some of these are just like fat dudes.
We should do a movie about karate Swedes.
Yeah. It's just, and then you've got to have like this, like there's a scene where, a guy finds someone who's been sort of half flayed and he turns around and a big fat Swedish Zach Galifianakis has managed to like just creep up on him in this fucking shed. And it's like, okay, that's a really lazy trope and it's done poorly. And, they have, the fucking cult has access to herbs that do things and, he gets paralyzed by having a palm full of fucking dust blown into his face. I mean, there are some great bits, like, because it's a deranged fucking, fertility cult and shit. Like, there's this scene where basically, like, they need, cum from other places and shit like that.
Oh, lordy.
Because the village can't be nothing but incest monks. Like, that's, way lies madness. So basically what'll happen is the youth will go out when they're like fucking 20 to 32 out into the world and they'll bring people back. And some of them they fucking kill and sacrifice, and some of them they convince to stay, and some of them they just get the seed from.
Give me a seed.
Yeah, this guy gets picked.
Does it show it them extracting?
Yes,
seed?
and that's the bit that's great.
Oh,
so like this horny redhead, which is a very funny depiction of Lady Horny, because It took me a long time once to figure out that a girl I was seeing when she was horny would just punch me in the shoulder, and this was like. It was like the 5th time, and it's like, what are you doing? I said, I'm horny. And it's like, that's what this means? That's what shoulder punch means, you fucking primitive? You're meant to be the fucking express your feelings, gender, you moron. And then, because I was annoyed, so I fucking unloaded on it, like, just double barrel, you fucking cretin, use your fucking words. And like, this girl just takes a shine to one dude immediately and like kicks him. And that's her way of expressing, like, you, I want to hit you in the pants hit, you. And, so she feeds him a pie full of her pubes and a bunch of other things. Just a standard seduction.
Of course.
And then, like, because it's a fucking weird fertility cult, she fucking, meets him in a shed where the elder ladies of the thing are all in there fucking rubbing their tits at him. And there is some, it's intentional to the film. But like, and one thing I do like about the movie is there are bits that are screamingly hilarious. The movie doesn't try to shy away from, really. Like the absurdity of some of the scenes is just allowed to carry through. And yeah, the scene where he's having to knock the redhead up is fucking hilarious. There's moments where, like, because if it weren't for some of the other things that had happened, like I understand. Okay, I'm gonna participate in this weird horny ritual for this demented cult. Because, like, they'd wear you down eventually. Women do. But, like, there's a moment where, he's trying to fuck this girl, and the old ladies are coming in and, like, touching his face and shit. And he sort of looks up and is like, this is fucked. It's like, yeah, this is fucked. But, like, if you're a guy in your head, you're sort of computing, okay, how much of this would I put up with to nail this girl? It's like, all right. Maybe up until the face touching. I'd probably draw a line at the face touching.
How many old ladies?
I mean, if I didn't have good reason to suspect them of skinning my friends, I'd probably have gone along with at least some of it.
How many old ladies came in?
Oh, it was like 9. There's like a whole line of them. It's like a chanting thing. They're singing a song. They're rubbing their tits at him like that's gonna fix the problem.
Yeah, no, that's making it worse.
Oh no, it's like again, it is really fucking funny.
Oh yeah.
It's a good scene. It's a movie with a lot of solid scenes and an incest mong, but like the whole thing really just doesn't hold together. And ultimately, at the end of watching it, it's like, what's the point of all this? I don't feel like as a film it expressed anything really interesting or new, and I feel like that is Ari Aster's goal into a lot of what he does. So in that regard, I'd consider it really more of a failure. I mean. Anybody who's going, I'm thinking of watching Midsummer, I'd just say, go watch Wicker Man. It's, It's just the better version. I don't know why you'd watch the inferior product. It doesn't really provide anything or do anything new. I mean, if you've got, some time to kill and you want to see an incest mong, yeah, go for it.
Fair enough.
Yeah, or the root circle. Who doesn't hate that?
The old titties. Don't forget the old titties. Titties at you. Titties at you. Old ladies and titties at you.
Yes, not in the girl. Fuck it, I'm trying. Go away.
Well, us singing a song help?
No. Do you have to look like... That's like, again, that's basically it. Except they're speaking in the degenerate Swedish tongue.
Oh, shit. Money, money, money. Must be funny. Abba was Swedish, right?
I don't know.
Shit.
All the Scandinavians all blur together into some one umlauted file.
That you weak?
Pretty much, yeah.
Fuck yeah. That's fun. It's fucking rape Swedes and incest mongs. That was good. I had a similar experience. I went to PAX. So I was invited to PAX Expo by Reboot PR for Destiny to do a charity panel for generosity to raise money for charity to, for cancer. So that sounded fun.
To cure cancer or to support cancer?
To cure cancer.
Oh, okay. I was confused there for a second. I thought you were raising money for cancer.
That's what the convention across the hall was for. It was a very awkward weekend for
raising
everyone.
money for cancer?
Yeah, it's like, excuse me? So, yeah, I went down there, flew down there. It was fun and just had fun at the panel, man. There was a Bungie developer there. There was a voice of one of the voice actors from Destiny. So that was cool.
What gun does she voice?
No
she one of the robots?
No. Your voice is Eris Morn. She's like a lady who basically dug out her eyes and replaced them with the eyes of an enemy to survive in the tunnels because she couldn't see. She's badass.
I fucking wish that shit worked. Because fucking history's full of all this shit where it's just like, oh yeah, you fucking, like that's where the fucking Ganesh came from, the elephant head god. Yeah, like dad god accidentally knocked the head off one of his kids. And before the mother came home to get angry at him, he plopped a fucking elephant head on there and just like, yeah, it's fine. Like, I fucking wish that shit worked. Like, I was like, oh, fuck my eyes. And I just grabbed, like, some other eyes.
Yeah, just carved them out.
Yeah,
like, I got mine now. Yeah.
I just borrowed a kookaburras for a minute.
Yeah, kookaburra, give me sight. And then you just, off you go.
And then, but it doesn't.
Yeah, that was cool.
You lose your eyes, that's it.
So we were playing the game. There was 6 of us, and we were, like, 2 teams of 2. We were playing the game, and there was things like, if someone donated, we'd do things in the game. Like, someone would blindfold us. We'd play versus each other in PvP, blindfolded and stuff like that.
You have to play Destiny in the circle surrounded by horny old ladies.
Yeah. The tits, no, the songs. That's the ultimate donation. So, yeah, we raised some money, which was really cool. Then just hung out at PAX or Gabby Borland. That was always fun.
Grabby boy band. People who don't know, a friend of ours called Guy Blomberg, one time he spoke to the news about like a nerd festival, and they somehow turned Guy Blomberg into Gabby Borland.
Didn't it say like Pokemon Fanatic or something
Something
too,
like
as like
that,
his subtitle?
Yeah. So that, it just started degenerating. So we've progressively been making fun of him over the years.
Yeah, so we saw him early, and then my friend Arthur I was with, every time we went past him from that, it was always like, Gabby Borland! Yeah. And everyone's like looking, and it's like no one's understanding it but us. It's fantastic. So these conventions, I'm old, so I don't get them as much as the kids. But
spoiled shits.
So when you go there, it's an interesting experience because the last time I went was about 4 years ago or something. It was 3-4 years ago. And it was a lot. That was when Yug was still running it.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't have much involvement, I think, anymore. He's more the overseas side now.
Just floats around like a gas.
Yeah. So the experience is much different. When you get on the show floor, it's very segmented now. It's much more commercialized, in my opinion. Like, for example, a big section was an EB Games merch section because they got the rights, because obviously there are a lot of pop culture and stuff. But it just, to me, that feels like a waste.
Finally. Yeah.
Because like
the opportunity to shop at an EB.
Because they're everywhere.
Yeah.
They're fucking everywhere. You can walk in and get that shit anywhere,
there's
dude.
literally 2 within 100 meters of each other in the city.
So a large chunk of what I already look like, I like looking at stores with individuality and stuff, that sort of stuff. There wasn't art there. There wasn't artist alleys or anything that
That's
I thought
weird.
would be there. Yeah.
I figured that would have been an easy one for him.
Yeah,
Like,
there was a giant tabletop section. If you like
That's
tabletops
nice.
and role-playing shit, huge. There's a good
I
classic
know what you
games
mean though about
section.
the EB. Like
Yeah.
I'm just miffed at that too. It's like, yeah, you're gonna come from wherever to like go to PAX and do what? Oh, look at an EB.
Because there wasn't much there that was actually selling things. Like, a lot of the booths were, for esports or games and stuff.
Could that have
and
been like something that like the EB booth gets locked down?
I think so, yeah.
Where it's just like where the fucking sole purveyors of shit.
Yeah. Like, there was a lot of stores that would sell, like, there was terrarium Pokeballs, very clear with little Pokemon figures and
Yeah.
stuff. They were really nice. Like, things like that were there, but not as much as I would expect. It's something that large.
See, I'd feel like the value of these things is to try and get variety.
Yeah.
You know?
So you can see, my advice if you're going to one of these things is, and you're traveling for it, take it like a holiday. Go like one day, take it all in. Unless you go into panels and shit, there's stuff you're interested in. 'Cause some of the panels are really good. The panels they do are great. I'll give them that. They get some interesting people in. They're very professional and fucking funny. But yeah, so you can see it all in a day. Unless you're going to play games. But for me, that's weird. I don't go and line up for 2 hours to play a game. That's really weird to me. I'd rather just play it when it's out and ready.
Yeah.
Because, like, Doom Eternal was there, for example, and Doom has been delayed to March. And I'm really fucking sad about it.
Yeah.
But,
I get it, but
it
like,
needs the time.
we were like, yeah, the two of us were really looking forward to
Yeah,
it.
every week, dude, we talk about Doom. It's just like, fucking
It was like,
Doom.
oh, fuck yeah, I know. Like, it was such a, because we thought it was coming out fucking September. And it's
Yeah.
like, oh no, it's October. We're both like, oh shit.
Fuck.
Well, at least it's October. Now it's
Yeah,
March.
nope.
It's like, oh.
March. Look, if it needs the time, it needs the time. Can't do
Yeah,
anything
like, no,
about
I'm
it.
not bummed about him wanting to get the game
No.
done well.
We're just bummed about because we're
Yeah.
passionate. We want to play
I
it.
know. It's just like me wanty thing now.
So yeah,
is-
that was there. If I played that there, and that's the thing, I was a spaghetti. So I was a special guest.
Oh, okay.
We called him a spaghetti. And so
Did
I
somebody
could
touch
go.
you?
I could just go in early because like I'm a special guest, so I could just walk in. Like if I wanted to go in really early and play all the games, I could have. But playing Doom would just make me more fucking excited and sad because I've played it then. The taste is there.
I want to go with you next time so I can get one of those spaghetti badges and just walk up and gently stroke people's faces with the back of my hand while tapping the thing. I'm a special guest. I'm allowed to do this.
I support this.
Yeah. It's part of a panel.
Yeah, a spaghetti panel.
Yeah. No, it's a panel that I'm hosting after the thing at home by myself to a variety of latex dolls.
The other interesting thing I found, a lot of booths, like for example, the Final Fantasy VII remake was there, and you could play it, and it was like up against a big like wall thing they'd put up, and the TVs and stuff, and a big sign saying no photography. And the thing is, if you got a good camera, which nearly every single person at PAX does, that's doing serious photography or any recording of any kind,
Wouldn't even a
could
phone
literally
have
just
a fairly-
stand 5 meters away and zoom in. Like you wouldn't know. Like it just seems
What are
so
they protecting
arbitrary. And,
anyway?
like, yeah, there's not like this groundbreaking new content in there.
Did they make Cloud's tits bigger?
Oh yeah, you know it, baby.
Maybe they had the muscle boy section in the game.
Hmm.
No, we with those muscle dudes. That's really the only thing I remember from the game.
So the craziest thing to me about all the game stuff you could play, Bill, unless you're a person who can get in early, like a content creator, a media badge, or whatever, those lines queue out for the day within half an hour. For example, within half an hour of walking around, Luigi's Mansion 3, capped for the day. Pokemon Sword and Shield, capped for the day. Final Fantasy 7, capped for the day. Imagine that shit. You know, you get that out early. Yep, I'm going to, book my time. Yep, off you go. Just capped out. Like, that shit's nuts, dude.
What's the point of that?
Yeah. Like, and that's the thing is if you're not going with friends or unless you really enjoy the convention sort of thing, they're like,
You like licking a lot of strangers on the back of their neck.
yeah. If you can go on a Friday, definitely recommend a Friday. That's when the crowds are at an all-time low because obviously people are still at work. Saturday, fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Like you can't move.
Take the day off work.
Yeah,
Yes,
definitely,
yeah. All right.
definitely. It's a
So that's why I don't go to these things. You know, like what do what do you want to imagine being at the end of that line? You know, like you're there, you've beat the cutoff, but you're literally going to spend like a day at PAX waiting to play the Final Fantasy VII remake.
yeah.
Is that worth it to anybody? Even if, like, and there is nothing I love that I'd do that for.
Because, like, the thing is, you're not getting anything out of it exclusive. You're going to be able to play that game in a few months when it comes out. That's the mind-boggling thing to me. So,
I wouldn't do that if there were a hand job involved.
If there was like an exclusive T-shirt or something, I'd be close.
Exclusive T-shirt that comes that they jack you off into.
I'm just a sucker for free shit, man. I didn't actually.
Not an all-day line.
No. Minimal effort for free shit. It's got to be minimal.
Otherwise, it's just work, and then you've earned it like a schlub.
So yeah, that was the first day of PAX. Then we had a sort of beer garden event with the Destiny community, which was really cool. Then we went to the church party, and there was a dude nearly fought me in the line because a friend of ours was standing with us, and other friends came to say hello to him, and this enraged the people behind us. The lady in her, I don't even know what sort of fucking accent it was.
By the sounds of things, it was like feral Melbourne Bogan.
Pretty much.
It's a very glottal language. So it goes to the back of the throat, and they cut a lot of it off. They pitch it off with
this is fucking unfair. If you're standing here, you're just getting all these people in. It's just not fucking right. And then it's like, they're just saying hello.
Yeah.
They're literally, no, we're not going in. We haven't moved in 10 minutes. The line is not moving. They're not obstructing anything. Oh, and then the guy goes with her, the tall guy. He looks in his 40s as well. Don't know why he's trying to get into a gamer party. It's weird. Like, he's got grey and hair.
Are you sure it wasn't John Romero?
It might have been. And he goes, well, they've said hello now. They could fuck off. And I'm like, all right. I said, well, they're allowed to stand there, man. Yeah. Like, and he's like, well, fuck it. He starts getting all puffed up and angry. And the people are like, we'll just go. And I'm like, you don't have to.
I wish I was there for that.
Oh, dude, like.
That's all my old shit like that. Because that was work for like years, was just lines and dealing with line morons.
I just want him to take a swing because I would just be like, oh, my back. I'm like disabled. And just like, I'd ham it up hard, man. Like.
Punched a cripple.
Yeah, exactly. How do you feel, mate? So yeah, that was fun. We got in there, and it was a slightly confusing layout because they decided to let Twitch partners have a +1, and they had a VIP area which consisted of 2 bars, and they decided to have one bar.
I'm assuming that +1 was whoever donated the most over the month.
The other
buy a date with Gabe on Twitch. On losers, like you can do better.
So the other bar was approximately for 400 people. Well, the other 2 were for like approximately 100. So, because we walked in and me and my friend Rio were like, oh, that bar's free. We just walk straight up and this guy just appears in a suit. It's like, no, boys. And we're like, what? It's like, yeah, you got to have a wristband. We're like, I'm like, I have a wristband. Might not be the one you're looking for.
Yeah.
It's like, no, sorry. It's like, oh, well, fuck. So, guess I'll line up at that fucking hole. Filled with people who don't know how to queue in bars. Drove me insane.
It's fucking nuts.
They're not shuffling forward.
Yeah.
Oops. I didn't mean to turn that off.
I dare you turn off the aircon.
So they're not moving forward.
Yeah.
They're just sort of like someone gets out of the bar and they just kind of shuffle awkwardly. So I'm taking control of the situation after about 10 minutes and I tap on the Asian dude on my left shoulder and I go, dude, as soon as this guy goes out, you're going to push right in there. Push in hard. Don't let this guy on the left in. He's cutting in. You've been here for 10 minutes. He's just got here. I said, you on the left. Fuck off. I see you behind him. And he's like, oh, okay. And I just start directing this line, dude. And the bar starts getting efficient. And like we get to the front, the bartender's like, thank you. And I'm like, yeah, it's fine. I'm like, good luck after this. I'm gone.
No, this is why I don't miss it.
Like,
I think every day I think to myself, God, I'm glad I don't drink. And God, I'm glad I don't work in fucking liquor service anymore. Like,
dude, yeah, it's rough.
Because, like, people who don't know how to queue, I don't know what we're supposed to do with you at a certain point. Like,
there's nothing you can do because it gets worse the drunker they get.
Yeah.
So it's frustrating. And they were doing 2 for 20 Jaeger bombs too. So, people were messy.
Like, it's an issue of like the worst drunks are the people who never drank. Like, there's like Christmas parties, fucking New Year's parties and shit. Office parties. Anything where the fucking office cunts crawl out of their goddamn hole. Because, they don't. Someone who drinks every fucking day can handle themselves when they're drunk. Usually. There's exceptions, but usually. It's Helen who never gets on the piss and then goes out for a fucking one wild night and then is just fucking bedlam. Like, all the really most obnoxious shit I've had to deal with has been like fucking office cunts. Office cunts, race day, like anything that gets the fucking normals out. Because they don't understand that, like, there are also rules outside.
Yeah.
Like, when you're drunk, like, it's not like it's just some fucking free-for-all that you're just allowed to do whatever.
So, yeah, that was day 1. Then day 2 came in the morning just to pick up some stuff, say hello to some people, then spent the day just going around Melbourne, looking at things, shopping. Had a HSP from Lord of the Fries, which was made with veggie beef, and it tasted like real beef. And I got really happy because I can eat a HSP without losing my guts. So that was fantastic.
Yeah, one of the breakthroughs in plant-based meat, they managed to get a plant source of a protein called heme,
Hmm.
which is what gives one of the things that gives meat its meaty taste. And so they can extract that from soybean, and they can add that to their plant protein meat.
Cool.
And it apparently is a fairly good facsimile. I don't know. I haven't tried any of the meat substitutes yet, just because my allergies. I'm a little iffy, and to be honest, I honestly don't think a fucking veggie patty, like a fake meat patty from Hungry Jack's, is a good introduction to the material.
No.
I want someone to go, here's a good version of what we've got. Here's something I want to present to you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there was that.
Because I'm all for the replacement shit.
Yeah, 100%, dude, because I can eat it. Great. Then day 3 went in just to sort of like chill out, hang out with people. I ended up, my friend Arthur, or Lift Your Game, he was streaming at the Elgato booth, and I ended up having to moderate his chat because he started off and I went off with another friend, got some breakfast, which was con food. Never recommend it. Always get food outside the con, but it was really early and I was hungry, so I fucking just dealt with it.
Never buy convention center food.
It's expensive. It will ruin your guts, and it's not food. So I'm like, I'll just check on him as I'm having my breakfast, and I just see someone spamming the N-word in his chat, and I'm just like, fuck me, Dad. Like, all right, I gotta moderate this. And he kept coming back like every 5 minutes, like with a new account to do it. And it's like, mate, your life is that fucking sad, really? Like, what's wrong with you? Like,
I don't normally advocate suicide, but for people like that, I make an exception.
Oh, man.
It's not that I'm anti-suicide. It's just I generally think the wrong people do it.
Yeah, absolutely. So there was that.
Yeah, imagine doing that.
Like,
I bet he's sitting like, in his fucking basement home going, I got him.
I got him. It's so funny.
He's made me, he's banned my account again. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, there was that.
Like, it's a tragic state when the most meaning someone can have in the world is getting somebody to hate them.
And what else did I do? The rest of the day was just chill. We just hang outside. There was a really nice breeze in Melbourne. It was cool and warm at the same time. It was just perfect.
That sounds like Melbourne.
Just perfect. And there was a beautiful breeze. It wasn't wind, it was breeze.
That doesn't sound like Melbourne.
No, it wasn't. It was immaculate.
Normally it's a shit fight.
It was great.
Because you hear about that and you think it's bullshit, and then you go there and it's like, wow, yeah, this is just fucking nuts.
Yeah. So we were all out on the grass. That's where I built that.
Any of you cope with this.
That's where I built that stick hinge. So
oh yeah, your little hinge. What about your hinge?
Yes. We were talking about how the ants were going to be there, in 3 hours from there now and go, wow.
Ant hinge.
Like, yeah. They're going to say, who built this? And it was me, you little bitches. Squish. So that was that. And then, yeah, I was tired. Like, it was good. Good weekend, with the Destiny stuff, and made some 3D printed coins with the help of our friend Scarecrow. And the website I made for Destiny, so that was cool and fun. And now back here, and on the plane, I was playing Mario 3 on the Game Boy Advance. And it's a little odd because it adds new sound effects like Mario voices in it. And there's a Mario and Luigi mode where you can choose either or instead of, having to plug in a second controller and all that.
Finally.
But Luigi has his weird float jump. Of course.
The one thing that sets him apart.
Yeah, so the game plays nice. It looks nice, but some of the music's different because of the processing chips. Just, they must have hard ported it or something, and it just sounds wrong.
Because it's come up in a few instances of, I was working out which version of Final Fantasy VI to play, and generally the raw SNES ROM isn't as good as the Game Boy Advance one. Because the Game Boy Advance one adds some extra shit, fixes some translation stuff. But apparently the GBA sound chip was shit.
Yes,
that's the thing that's come up in everything I've read about it. Is the best one to get is the modded SNES one because it fixes all the translations, tidies up some of the stats and stuff. Apparently some of the stats don't do anything.
Yeah,
glitch or some shit. It fixes the errors, fixes the translation, and then you get the good music.
Yeah. So I want to try it. I want to have a play around with it later on, emulate my PC, because I know with the Nintendo emulators, you can get it to push to a higher quality of sound. And I want to hear side by side to the SNES version how it sounds on a higher quality. Because yeah, it's just the biggest change that really frustrates me is Toad houses. You know, the sliding ones when you walk in and you get the side on animated. It's not that anymore. It's sprites, and it's zoomed out, and it's a lot of the charm is
that kind of
lost.
sucks.
Yeah, and I want to go like a side. I'm gonna play through it all and finish it and have a sort of look at it against the SNES one because it was just weird, and because I love that game. It's one of my favorite Mario games, and speaking of my fucking anus, it's a black hole. Fortnite's been having a black hole event. Now, say what you want about the Epic Games and Fortnite in general, but they're
assuming the black hole is where they're gonna throw people who are pro Hong Kong.
Oh, of course. So when they glorious Tencent. Anyway,
just human rights in general.
Yeah,
can't be too divisive.
No, of course not. Now the what was I saying? Yeah, their events, how they build their game for a free to play game and further it, are quite great. And their current marketing scheme is really cool. They said the end is coming in 24 hours, and people are like, what the fuck is going on? People thought, they're deleting the game. And people are like, no. And so the timer hits, and if you're in game, the rocket that had appeared on the map took off. And it went up, boom, exploded, black hole started expanding. Over 10 minutes, it started sucking the map in, all the thing, and then players, the black hole, and then, that's been a black hole for over 32 hours.
Oh, so that happened in-game for, so people running around shooting each other. And,
yeah, so it happened live. And the game's been down, and people are just like, what's going on?
As much as I think it's, I don't think it's a stupid game. I mean,
lots of people
issue of, well, I mean, look, it does what it does.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't enjoy looter shooters. I don't think looter shooters shouldn't exist. I just,
but Gabriel, you're an adult. You have thoughts.
I use positions.
These mounds do not.
This is the problem. I use positions. So, I mean, that is an impressive piece of marketing. Credit where it's due. I mean, I hate everything else about the company, but
oh yeah, 100%.
That is an impressive piece of marketing. That's bold to just go, you don't get to play the game for a couple of days.
Yeah, because they have a rotating daily cash shop.
You're not
that's missing out on bank for them usually. So, is it still down right now? Check.
Are there people angry about it?
I assume so.
It's still the bumhole.
It's still the bumhole.
Still the bumhole.
36 hours at this point.
Okey-dokey.
Some people are like, it's getting bigger. It's like,
no.
I was
because they'll never be able to do that again.
No
one can copy that.
Exactly. So sort of in the same vein, I guess, because for Fortnite's an esport, Shannon Knoll. He's an Australian singer. Knowlesy. He started an esports team. No, when you hear this, you think, celebrity esports team. He's recruiting young gamers and stuff. No, not Knowlesy. He's competing.
What?
So it's a celebrity esports team. I can't wait to begin recruiting some fellow celebs to take on some of the region's top gamers in November at Lenovo's League of Champions tournament. I think it's a League of Legends tournament or something.
Okay,
let's have a look.
Here's the thing about Australia. Okay, there's different.
Oh, okay. So Street Fighter, Rainbow Six, League of Legends, Tekken, Dota, CS:GO, PUBG, FIFA, Rocket League. So yeah, he wants to gather other celebrities who game.
Knowlesy has a fang. He's gonna be rolling up to play fucking 5 with his fang tech. Okay, look. This is why Rove's shitty Tonight Show lasted 2 episodes.
Yeah.
There's no celebrities in Australia because every Australian celebrity leaves and goes where work and other interesting things are happening. There's no reason to stay here. Like, celebrities visit and go, oh, yeah, that's interesting. And then they fuck off to where the interesting shit otherwise lives. Like, Shannon Knoll is not a celebrity.
No, really not.
Like, fucking hell, man.
I was like, you remember the Veronicas?
Yes.
Yeah, so the Veronicas were a pair of teens from
they were
Queensland. They were actually from here.
Yeah.
And they came into my store at Toombul. Yeah, they're just like
Savage Gardener from like Logan Home, which is so fucking funny. Yeah, that is absolutely classic.
Savage Homes and Gardens.
Because like one of them, like there's the fancy one who went off to be a celebrity, and then there's the other one, the blonde one, like Garden, I suppose, and he literally just apparently still lives around. Like you can see him going like the fucking Logan Medical Center and shit. Like fame just didn't change him whatsoever. I don't know what the fuck he does.
Fuck me. Yeah, good, Nosey. I look forward to seeing you embarrass yourself.
I'm bummed that he doesn't. Does it tell us what he fucking plays?
Well, he's working with FaZe Has. Probably. So whatever Has plays, I guess. Let's. Shit. What does this guy play? It's hard to tell.
One of the fucking clicky goddamn things.
I have no. In his bio. Just saying his bio, right? But the sensible thing would be. Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm really interested to see what he's actually playing. I guess CS:GO by the look of it, Fortnite. So sort of Twitch shooters, I guess. Ozzy on a Twitch shooter would be very fun to see. I have to say,
because I take a kind of micro attitude toward a lot of this stuff. Shannon fucking Knoll.
I know, dude. It's great.
Fucking, I can't wait till they have like a fucking, Dota arc on Neighbors.
Oh, dude.
Fucking Toadie's fucking kid that's mysteriously already 15 or some shit.
No, Toadie himself. He's proven
Ryan
to the youngins.
Maloney. He has been on that show since 1994.
Why give up a cushy gig?
And no, it's like soap actors are such a weird thing to me because like they're almost like an entirely separate species.
Yeah.
So few of them ever really get out of soaps. Like you can get into soaps. Like the dad from The Nanny, he's a soap actor now.
Yeah.
Like, and he's been one for ages, and that's just it. He's in the soaps. And like, granted, you'll never do anything else, and the only awards you'll ever get are for soaps. But you will have a guaranteed job for like 1,000 fucking years. Like it just won't stop.
Yeah.
Because again, Ryan Maloney's been on Neighbours since 1994. Like there was some chick on fucking Home and Away who'd been there since she was like 8 and then left when she was like 32. I absolutely want Neighbours to run long enough that Ryan Maloney is finally dying. Because I want him to die on camera for a Neighbours episode. A very special episode. Ryan Maloney finally is euthanized because his dementia has gotten so bad. And, before it got, while it was bad enough to talk him into it, but before it got like noticeable, they convinced him to sign a contract so they can euthanize him, in a very special episode Aaron. Special episode. We're going to watch that befreckled, pug-faced Mong slowly expire over the course of 45 minutes. It doesn't go quickly.
Fuck me. It's like a Dragon Ball Z episode of this shit.
You just slowly watch him, and then, per tradition, the Neighbours cast turn upon him and consume him. And that's gonna be a beautiful story, I think, Aaron. That's gonna be a highlight of that season.
Look, I'm not gonna lie. It's gonna be like, I can't wait.
Well,
how old is Maloney? That's what I want to know.
Burnt Dr. Carl and the giant Wicker Harold. Yeah, what's his net worth? I'm curious.
He's 39. All right, he might outlive me, dude. If he's healthy, I don't know.
Possible. Like, go to his Wikipedia. I'm curious.
Net worth of $4 million. God damn.
Yeah. He's got his shit together. He's got his show. He doesn't ever have to think or do anything. It's not like he fucking has to realistically act. I mean, I don't know. Does he have side shit? I could see some of them popping up in theater occasionally. Yeah, no, it's just Neighbours, Celebrity Big
Neighbours?
Brother. Yeah, that's it. Like,
He should be on The Simpsons. The other news, and I'm fucking calling this bullshit right now, dude. Red Dead finally got announced for PC a little bit ago.
no shit.
We all knew it was
The thing
fucking
that
coming.
you said in like one of these podcasts like a fucking year ago.
And they're doing the stopgap, but it's reversing with the PC version. So GTA 5 released on Xbox 360 and PS3.
Yeah.
And then they went, oh, is there a PC version? No. Oh, there's an enhanced version on PS4 and Xbox. Oh, how convenient. Is there a PC version? No. Oh, here it is.
No.
And it's just like, well, you've just strung people to buy so many copies, and they're doing the fucking same thing again. They're going to do PS4, Xbox One. But oh, no PC version. Oh, here's the PC version. Guarantee you, fucking PS5 Scarlet,
and
gonna have them.
Xbox.
They're triple dipping again.
Handsome wife.
It's triple dipping again, dude.
I wonder what the Xbox Scarlet's going to be when it's done.
I don't know.
2.
Oh, fuck. Who? Like,
Xbox beef.
PlayStation's just
1.
going to be the PlayStation 5.
Yeah, no, PlayStation's never going to change, and really at this point you can't.
Yeah. They're long haul.
Yeah, like it's done. Don't try to get creative at this point.
I say steal some shit and go Xbox Dolphin. Like,
well, again, like, you know, they used to get creative. Atari Jaguar.
yeah, that sounds powerful.
Yeah. Dreamcast.
Xbox
Weaves
Quokka.
Experiences.
This is the Xbox Quokka, mate.
Walker.
It's a Quokka. So yeah, they revealed the specs, 150 gig
What?
of space for Red Dead 2.
Are you downloading the actual West?
So yeah, they
Like,
also
fucking Gears with the 4K thing is only 120.
yeah. So that's
They must have some ridiculous textures.
well.
Are they
don't
adding
forget
actual missions?
they're adding more stuff, but
Oh,
it's
thank
not going to be
fuck.
much. But they don't forget all the online shit will be there too. So that's a lot of the size taken up there. They're sneaky. They launched their own fucking launcher so they could cut the Steam 30% cut. And they're giving away 2 games from the era of fucking who cares yesterday. If you pre-order, you can get Grand Theft Auto 3. Get 2 of these, Gabe.
Only
Vice City.
2?
Only 2. You don't even get all of these. 3, Vice City, San Andreas, Bully, LA Noire, or Max Payne 3.
With the exception of maybe Max Payne 3, every one of those games should be free.
Dude, they all should be free. Literally, Max Payne 3 is always on sale.
Yeah.
Like,
don't get me wrong. Like, well, I just think Max Payne 3 is the most recent.
it is. It's the best out of those by far.
Definitely. I mean, I actually really like Bully. I think Bully's a little bit of an underrated one on Rockstar.
Bully. No, I agree. But just they're very different experiences that I'd play to get out of those.
Yeah, no. Oh, no.
So
Max Payne. Because all of
probably-
them are open worlds except Max Payne 3, which is
Yeah.
a nice single shooter with a linear
If I
thing.
had to choose the 2, and I pre-ordered, I'd pick Max Payne and Bully. Those would be my 2 choices.
I like how the fucking Tech Radar website says GTA San Andrea.
Yeah, I know, right? So,
2's dumb. Like, Grand Theft Auto 3 should just, and Vice City should just be free generally.
they're so old. Like, come on, man. Like, so yeah, they brought their own launcher, which is just greedy as fuck. Like, you were the top 10 of Steam for like over a year solid.
Considering they've got like 8 games, like what else are they going to be putting on it?
They just want the money. That's all they want, dude. And it's so fucking greedy.
Come to the Rockstar store and get Space Station Silicon Valley.
I'd actually get that. I like that game. So it's just, yeah, Rockstar, I'm calling you on your shit. Like, fucking not good enough.
I mean, I don't know. I honestly don't know if I'd even bother pirating Red Dead 2.
It's not a good game. I'm looking forward to modders, like, hacking it to pieces and making it a better game, personally.
It needs a modern mission structure.
Yeah.
You can't have these giant overworld games with a fucking mission structure from like fucking 2001. It's just lazy as boring. Every mission, go talk to a person. Okay, here's a cutscene. Here's a cutscene / gameplay bit. That's it.
Yeah.
And well, that's the end of it. There was nothing interesting in that fucking game. It's like, the mission count in that game was dismal.
One is so much better.
A lot of missions, and you need them to interact. You need things, you need like dialogue options. You know, there's all this. It's a living world. No, it isn't. No, it fucking isn't. Like, oh, look, cats catch rats. So fucking what? Put some fucking expansive missions, some stories in your fucking game. Christ.
So, moving on for that, the PS5 was announced to have a 4K Blu-ray player, Gabriel. Nice to catch up there, Sony.
That's cool.
You know, just the Xbox only launched their budget S model that had a 4K player. But you know what? You decided you would be a good idea.
This one will do 8K.
Oh, watch out. They decided, Gabe, it would be a good idea to push you onto the digital service for 4K, which is just not feasible for most people with a download size. Also, size in general, because you get a terabyte on a Pro, and that's not a lot for games and movies because games need double the space to copy and install. So, whee!
I have, at current count, I don't know, 7 or 8 terabytes of storage. You know, my collection of shit.
Yeah.
Unless
you have replaceable storage in a box.
Yeah.
Like, that's just not feasible. They were insane to think that they could push that on people.
I mean, at this point, it's an SSD or something. So that's one of the things they've been touting is they've got like a magic SSD that can basically load things unbelievably quickly.
Yeah.
I mean, if they can get that to demonstrably fucking work really well, then all right.
But still,
1 terabyte SSDs are still a.
But that's still nothing really
chunk of change.
No, like as far as I know, they're going to be using probably. I haven't looked into it, but it sounds like it'll be a partition SSDs. So they just have giant storage space and recall memory bits into that cache of your most 3 recent games or something. I don't know. I haven't looked into it, but like I mean, you got things on PC like NV drives and stuff. You know, the M2s and stuff. They're unbelievable speed.
Yeah, well, I got one of the little fancy buggers. Yeah. It's small size, but I'll put games on there that, you know, can benefit from the real fast loading times.
Exactly, yeah.
Like one thing, like, you know, I've been playing, you know, if you're playing games like, GameCube games and you're downloading texture packs for them.
Yeah.
Having the texture packs on an SSD is much better.
Oh, it's needed for high resolutions. It's virtually needed.
Yeah, like you will get vicious stutters if you try to play off an HD unless you pre-cache all of the fucking stuff. And with some of these, like some of them are like the 4K packs for like Code Veronica, it's like fucking 4 gig.
Yeah.
Like, and if you know, you have to basically jettison everything else out of the RAM in order to do that without fucking Dolphin fucking up. Like I had like just tons of crashes until I finally fucking shifted it all into my SSD.
Yeah, that's just the thing. Like modern games in general, you're going to be throttled if you're not on SSD. You know, your CPU can't access the speed, so files and stuff is just a lot of it is recommended. Even if you can only afford a small SSD that you put your most used games on that are modern.
Honestly, like I think UMart has a 500 gig SSD. Like it's in the $100 mark.
They're not expensive these days.
No, like 500 gigabytes for a dedicated gaming SSD is very, very affordable. Like that's
you don't need an NV drive like top of the line, not to start out with. Like, yeah, there's that. So the last thing we're gonna end on is the Disney Plus launch lineup was announced. That's very exciting. I'm excited for that service. There's gonna be shit ton of movies, including like Dalmatians, Bugs Life, all the standard Disney standards, as well as all the Star Wars movies, the whole seasons of Simpsons 1 to 30.
That's impressive. I mean, honestly, one thing I'd like to see from one of these streaming things is, again, like, I mean, probably one of the things I like about the Disney Plus thing is like you get 4K just default.
Yeah.
But I mean, the other one is, you know, I'd kind of like an enthusiast package if that's possible. You know, I'd like things that have like maybe deleted scenes, director's cuts, like because there are some situations where I fucking want the director's cut.
Yeah, that'd be nice. 250 hours of National Geographic shows, 5,000 episodes of various Disney Channel shows. The first episode of Mandalorian will be on at launch. The World According to Jeff Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum haunts ghosts.
100 various Disney Channel original movies. So there's just going to be a shitload of stuff. quite impressive. Marvel movies on there, obviously.
Apparently in Australia, there's going to be some finagling with some of those because some of them are still Stan exclusives.
You bastard, Stan. Don't make me call Rodney.
I know. What's the limit? Like, what can I call my streaming platform?
Hi, this is Walter. Downloaded Walter the other day.
Walter.
Bit naff. Fucking Kendra.
I love the really sad third-rate ones like fucking Crackle. And like, oh, what's a Crackle original? Joe Dirt 2. Like, so many, like, I like Joe Dirt. I think the Joe Dirt movie is great. Some people don't know that there's a sequel, and it is shit.
Like,
so
there's
fucking
a Tooth
bad.
Fairy 2 as well with
Imagine banking your platform on not even really an original fucking, you know.
Yeah, can you call a sequel an original?
Well, I mean, like, it's original, but, like, if you're going to get fucking, what's his name? The guy who plays him, the weird little imp?
David Spade.
David Spade, yeah. If you're going to get David Spade, like, you could probably get something new, you know?
Did they not get David Spade?
Oh, I'm pretty sure David Spade's in it. Like, I'm nearly 100% sure it's actually David Spade, but, like, you know,
Just bad?
No, oh, yeah.
It is David Spade?
Yeah, like, yeah, no, it's 10% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, lordy.
Like, look up Joe Dirt 1 and see what that's got on Rotten Tomatoes. Because this will give us, like, it'll give us a vague idea. Like,
11%?
really, the original Joe Dirt? It's got an audience score of 63. The original Joe Dirt's a fine comedy. Like, I don't know what you're expecting, like, watching that, you know? Yeah, see, Joe Dirt 2's got a 21% audience score. I mean, like, that's the thing. The first one's, yeah, it's like a decent, funny, gross-out comedy. There's, you know, a guy gets, you know, he gets covered in poo. Like, that's funny. Oh, wow, that's amazing. It goes for 106 minutes.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
Woo.
David Spade. Don't worry, everybody. I've got what our streaming platform needs. Are you sitting down? David Spade.
A streaming platform that only has David Spade movies. I'm all aboard, dude. We can make an original
made out of barber hair.
And like, as long as David Spade's in the movie, he doesn't have to be a main character. It can be on the platform.
Crazy thing, like, because it's still going. Like, Apple have their own TV shit coming, and they're fucking spending big on it. Like, but you know, there was a while there where PlayStation were making their own show. They did that fucking version of Heroes where season 1, no, Powers, where season 1 was okay, and then season 2 was really, 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 really bad. And like, they just had no money for special effects, and there's scenes that literally look like clip art. It's
that's great.
Look up Powers season 2 car lift if you haven't seen that at home, because it's, again, it looks like something like any person with like fucking After Effects could do better in probably about a minute or two.
All right, I'm gonna take that as a challenge. That's gonna be my like.
It's like a still picture of a car getting like
fantastic,
you know, moved up with a mouse.
Oh,
like,
great! I'll look at that up later.
It's really fucking bad.
That's it is. You know, David Spade owning platform. We can get him in. What's his face?
Basil.
What's his face? You can do it.
Oh yeah.
Shit. What's his name?
I know, my brain's blocked it out. Yeah, dude. The little gross one, the goblin.
Fucking, what's his movie? Where is Juice Bigelow? Man, I can't believe I'm having such... Rob Schneider.
Oh, there
That's it. That's it. Rob Schneider. Yeah, let's get Rob Schneider and David Spade and make The Hot Chick 2. Watch out. And then we'll reach out to Adam Sandler and make Billy Madison 2. He went back to school. He's somehow even more retarded than ever. Billy Madison 2.
Billy Madison.
Happier Gilmore.
Joyous Gilmore. Well, no, because
the funeral singer.
Adam Sandler is owned by Netflix. Like they basically gave
Well,
him
when
money.
he's out of contract, we'll snatch him up.
No, we can't afford Adam Sandler.
We've got David Spade money now.
No, we can afford David Spade. Rob Schneider, you can just pick up standing out front like a fucking,
Yeah, but you got to understand, if we get Sandler on board, we get access to James and all the other Sandler staples.
I imagine them living on him kind of like the faces in Flesh, like at the end of the Body Horror Movie Society. Like,
yes,
it's just he takes off his jacket and like his back has like, David Spade's face and Rob Schneider's down under his right butt cheek. And the guy from Grandma's Boy that nobody remembers is, like on the back of his leg.
I think, is his name Alex?
I don't believe so.
And that was his name in the movie.
Nobody likes Grandma's Boy because it fucking sucks. And the guy, it is Alex. No, that was the character's name. Alan Covert.
Wait, what? That really his? Oh, no, that's the producer.
Okay,
starring. Oh wait, no,
it is him.
That is him.
No, it is him.
He doesn't even have a photo on there.
Yeah, he's in, every fucking. Oh shit! Time's taking a bat to him.
Oh, dude,
he's starting to look like Peter Griffin.
Oh, he could play fucking Frank West.
Holy shit!
Holy shit! That is insane.
It looks like someone tried to turn Patton Oswalt into a handsome person.
Oh god, yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, no, he looks like Frank West in that shot. He looks like Peter Griffin in that shot.
Yeah, so he was. If you want to remember him and you've seen Happy Gilmore, he was the caddy. He was the bearded caddy who swam in the water.
The bum.
Yeah, the bum. So yeah, if we get,
I just tried to swallow my own uvula. Ugh.
So if we get that, imagine
uvula sounds naughty.
Imagine our talent and passion and wackiness and writing and money with these awful actors that we could mold because we know they're capable of it. We could just whip them.
Yeah.
We're allowed to do that.
Yeah, you're allowed to.
If you're the producer, you can whip Sandler. Just no one takes him up on it because he thinks, I would whip that boy hard. Alan.
Oh, fuck me.
Stephen Covert. Best known for his starring role in the 2006 comedy film Grandma's Boy. That's the high point of his career, apparently.
Fuck, it sucked. Like, it has one good line, which is like, a clothes expensive in The Matrix.
I actually like that movie. It made more than it cost.
Right.
Budget of $5 million, made 6.6. Good shit, Alan. Who else did it have in? Linda.
Oh, the chick from Freaks and Geeks. That guy.
Yeah.
Doris, the mother from Everybody Loves Raymond, who was the titular grandma.
Is she dead?
Yes.
When did she die? 2016.
Ray Romano finally choked her to death.
Peter Dante as Dante. He's another one that's in shitload of stuff just as a background character.
I wonder how much you get paid for being in the background.
Well, they're all Sandler's friends, so probably just get a hand busy or something. Jonah Hill was
friends.
Like a sad version of Sesame Street. He broadcasts it to the kids in his street, no one else. Come on, kids, it's time for Sandler's Friends.
We don't want to watch. You have to! I own this street and your parents!
Poopy buttheads!
Sandler Street.